Shalom, family. This is Kaymoney Spoken Words. I'm going to play a video. I don't know if I'm going to play it in its entirety. The link is in the chat, in the description. A black queen is going to speak to us, right? So I want you to just give me 30 seconds, and then I'm going to get right started. Okay, I'm not going to prolong it, not at all. I want to shout out to the African Diaspora channel, news channel. This queen, this black queen, Ngningone, I can't pronounce her name right, forgive me, y'all, has an important message, okay? Now, what I'm going to say is this. I may not play the full video. It's only 23 minutes long, but what I'd like y'all to do is go in the description and click on the link to the full video, okay? Well, let's listen to this queen now.
People say, oh, we are at war. We are at war. No, my people, we are not at war. We have suffered. We have suffered. No, my people, we haven't suffered enough. Because if we had suffered enough, we will treat each other with a little bit more care. Who the woman does, she swallows them. Yes, just like life begins in her, you know, and life ends in her too. The woman is that powerful. So every idiot who walks the street, every narcissistic prick out there, you know, raping women, beating them up and everything, our own fault. A fellow woman opened the door for that fool to be among us. A fellow woman taught him hatred. A fellow woman taught him how to steal or at least welcome stolen items in her home. A fellow woman taught her or him how to lie because the child saw us lie. At the end of the day, it's our own fault. The division, we need to stop the division. The healing starts with us. So anyway, according to my own assessment as to what happened to us, what led to our downfall, as an African woman, I can only advise you or guide you or lead you based off what I was taught. So growing up in my native Gabon, they told me that each time anything goes wrong in the community or in society, the women are to blame. So growing up, I was so mad about that. I'm like, how come? How can they make us responsible for grown-up deeds? But with time, observing my mom, my late Queen Ngningone the First, and then my grandmother, her mom, Queen Mother, I was just like, they were indeed the pillars of the family. In African spirituality, the woman is perceived as God. They say that life begins inside of her. So he who gives that life, he who makes it happen must be dwelling inside of her for that to even happen. That's why for Africans, he who kills a woman has killed a village. In addition, the African woman represents the throne. She's the throne of God. In the book of Genesis, God was the spirit above the water. She's the throne. So that's why she gives the right to rule. Our people believe that she's the throne upon which God sits. In the book of Genesis, they said the Spirit of God was over the water.
I have to stop it there just to say this. This is just for educational purposes only, okay? But this queen is speaking great, great words, okay? Let me continue. It's just for educational purposes only, y'all. So don't even strike me. My people need to hear this.
And then he went and sat on the throne. We are the throne. That's why in ancient Kemet, we gave the right to rule, and we still do. They can't crown a king if he's single. You need one of us by your side. That's a lot of power. Another power we have, you know, we can bring any species into extinct should we decide, should we choose not to reproduce them anymore, right? So as you could see, a lot of fights now, they want to take that right away, all right? Because they feel that the government is better placed to make decisions for other people and so on and so on. So you have to see what's going on around. It has always been the fight about quieting the woman, send her to the kitchen. The white women, they drop their crown. Where did they drop their crown? When they exchange their power, their God-given power, their creative power, their voice, their weight, when they exchange it for a life of effortless luxury. Because when you go from a status of an empress to a dependent around him, he has muzzled you up. Now, as to the black queens, where did we drop our crown? Where did we lose our crown? It was when we refused, when we started dividing our homes, when we refused to raise our children under the principle of one, as the Lord has instructed it to our ancestors. This is where we dropped the ball. We became jealous, we became envious of one another. And if you know, in spirituality, people say that we women, we have the ability to transfer any emotion, any character trait, any whatever more, because the child grows inside of us. So that's why they say, if a witch gets pregnant, she gonna produce little witches and wizards, period. If the dad is a wizard, there's chances he may be saved. But if it's the mama doing all that, don't expect any angel coming out of that. So you see, we have a lot of power. So, you know, even the war that is going now between the Muslim and the Christian, and it was still a woman. We've been bringing that confusion around since the beginning of times, right? Sarah couldn't have children. She sent her maid toward her husband to have Ishmael. She told another woman to reveal her pride, to surrender her heaven to her husband to produce them a child. When the child was produced, she was happy, but and then she grew jealous. And when God finally gave her her child Isaac and stuff, oh, now the maid had to go. We always, at the base of every discord, every war, is tied to us. When we misuse that God-given power, that God-given authority. So since this video is about the black queens, this is where we effed up from back in the continent. We brought war into our polygamous homes. So when the prophecy came around, the African kings, that they had to unite under one mighty kingdom to avoid what was coming, that these people were coming. If we were not united under one mighty kingdom, it will be the end of our world. I bet you, I wasn't there, but I bet you many of our queens were like, I'm still gonna be queen. No, pardon, I'm still queen. I bet you. I wasn't there though. I bet you. So how are we dividing? How are we keeping this? Because for them to penetrate us the way they did, they found a fertile land. They found many cracks within our walls, and the cracks are still there. Back then, the sold out sold the crown kings. The strongest among them, they sacrificed those just so there could be a puppet king. It still baffles me. It still baffles me how we will sacrifice, how we will kill the strongest of us so we can replace it, so we can become a puppet in the service of the so-called enemy. People say, oh, we are at war, we are at war. No, my people, we are not at war. We have suffered, we have suffered. No, my people, we haven't suffered enough. Because if we had suffered enough, we will treat each other with a little bit more care. We will treat each other with a little bit of respect. We don't have to be a savage to each other just because we were put through slavery. My own experience here in America, and same thing in Africa. Currently, we're counting, I want to say 27 or 29 dead African presidents. Okay? Do you think these people just get up and kill somebody? No. They go around and find candidates. Yes, they do. They found candidates who tell them, yes, I'll be your puppet. Should you kill him, I'll let you ship things out of my country free, not charge you a penny. If only you make me president. These are the kind of deals we agree to. Recently, I heard the guy who participated in killing Malcolm X was another black guy in the NYPD. Each time they always find us. They find one of us. As long as they are candidates. We are the only group of people who remain divided even while facing great adversity. We are. So, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, we need to address that first before we can ask for anything serious. Many of you so-called educated are still running around repeating that fallacy that your own kings sold you out. You so-called educated, you go and broadcast it. But they look at you like they're not that smart. They would have figured this out. We murdered their kings. We burned down their kingdoms. We took over their land. They became our subject until 1960. This is when we became so-called independent, in 1960. All right? Our languages, they forced our languages on us. They forced their education on us. They forced, but we have some of our kids still entertaining that. You just acting like a slave. You showing them that you haven't been able to connect the two and two. You show them that you're still ignorant of the fact that you were born free. Your kings died defending you. And another thing, by you saying that, spiritually what it does to you, it's a lie they told you for many reasons. They told you that lie to kill the black man's reputation forever because they were the richest men on earth. They were these badasses, right? So, and now they go from there to the ones selling their own kids. You know, according to their stories, you know, the African coast was a free market where parents would bring their children. No, buy this one. No, buy that one. That's what they rather make the world believe, right? That's what happened. And this is good for their kids. But when I see some of you getting out there and broadcasting it, I laugh. I'm like, no wonder, because if you say that, if you believe your own crown king sold you, it means you my property. I don't owe you shit. Simple as that. Because if somebody's king sold them out, It's a way of telling the whole world that God himself has sold them out. They have no covenant. There's no consequences in messing with them. That's what it means. So you people, stop cursing yourself. Stop bringing violence against yourself. And when you put yourself out there, I'm orphan. That's why the people who put us under that, oh, she's orphan or he's orphan, they're going to throw you a bone. So the person going to stop barking, because that's what you guys do exactly, bark when you get out there saying nonsense against your own self, against your own people, because you want to invite that pity. Oh, poor me. And then they send you the money. The same bow wow goes to they fed you a bone. Now you're happy. Okay, so in healing, you guys have to first digest the truth. You have to learn the truth. You have to detox. You have to see where we fail and dwell on that and change the tendency. So we failed our mission, which is to illuminate them. When we ourselves became jealous, envious, blah, 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 against each other, and we started in our own homes. So it has spreaded. So now in Africa, it's easy for them to find a puppet because we're divided by tribes. You know, people are conditioned. We the women, I won't blame that on white people. All right, I'm a very fair person. We the women taught our kids to only care for the blood or the children we gave birth only, or I don't know, or the children they share same father, same mother with. We brought that mess in our homes and then it spread it. Just like the white woman brought the mess, you know, welcoming blood money at home. You know, the white woman brought that mess about building mansion on other people's, on stolen land, on the rumbles of other people's homes. You know, when they take these houses from Palestinians, push Palestinians out of their homes, yeah, women around the world go, they feel, they think, right, that another woman, a fellow woman, has to lose in order for her to have, and it's okay by them. It's violence on other women, period. And we need to change that tendency. We can't just get out there and complain and see the stage the world is. Yeah, these little beings we allowed into existence became the way they are because we allowed them. It starts with us. In the case of black men hating black women, black moms themselves, you know, when you call the black girls that come around, you call them hoes, you call them fast, you call them all kind of things. It goes to your baby's subconscious, okay? So he's going to view them as less than. What we need to do, we need to raise responsible children. We need to raise children who would love and fear women. A woman is a great weapon. Look at white people, how they use her. Any guy they want to take down, they have one for him. They have one. It's like they activate them. I'm not advising you to follow what they do. It's horrible. This is what happens when we don't stand on our power. We become people tools. We become people games. These are beings we allowed into existence. Let's not forget that. So if they're hateful, it's because we failed to teach them love. If they're dishonest, because we failed to teach them honesty. And wherever the mothers leaves off, the future wife picks up. If, for example, a child was raised in a racist home, and then he's interested in you and he want to marry you, and you hear this sound bite, tell him clear, listen, in my household, we don't have that. We're not racist. We're not hateful. Whomever come at us funny, we deal with them right there. We don't entertain hate. It's forbidden for us to entertain hate. We're the people of truth, love, and life. These are the foundation of our crowns. We can be hateful. My parents didn't teach me hatred, no matter what we went through. Because hatred, it's like kryptonite to our powers. Those who walk with us, our soldiers, our spiritual soldiers, those royal soldiers who took oath generations after generations after generations to accompany us. When you speak ill, hateful things against Africans, they run. Our children don't know us. Our children don't love us anymore. They run. This is how you find yourself exposed. When you align with them, they are love and light. They walk with you. You don't need to know them by names. Africans don't lose their children. That's why I organize under this non-profit organization called Nubia, the path to return. Return to what? Return to ourselves. Return to who we are. Children of Africa, God's people, children of the sun. Return to our spiritualities. Return to the learning of our languages, of our culture. Return to the land of our ancestors, because the 400 years are over. And the promise the Creator made to our people is like, should we obey and follow His rules, mandates, and guidance, He will heal us and rise us again. That will become our own people again. So that's the promise the Lord made to our ancestors. So yeah, this is pretty much it today. So African queens, Nubia is about that. Nubia is about healing us. I'm going to be giving classes.
Wow. I think some of us needed to hear that. So the sister is speaking. Yes, she is. Oh, that's Queen. I don't even want to butcher her name. But this queen, black, beautiful queen. But that's what we have to come back to, family. I shout out the African Diaspora News channel. That is a channel. The links are in the description to this full video and his channel. I mean, you can learn so much. We're all put into this box here. You're in America, I'm in Canada. We forget where we come from. We mustn't forget where we come from. And this is what I'm putting out. And I believe, yeah, I may go into my feelings sometimes, as DMJ would say, get out of your feelings. But it's something that we need to do. We can't always blame the white man for our troubles. We can't. It's time we woke up and made a change. A lot of us are woke now. Now it's time to make the change. I love you. Shalom, Patsaja, my sister, D. Marie, Kings and Queens, Olivia. I love you guys. Now, let's hope YouTube don't block this from me now, because, I got one more day. My big page is open. Believe me, I'm sharing everything. I'm going out with a bang. You hear me? I'm going out with a bang, because my people need to hear. We need to hear. We need to make change. Our time is now, family. I'm not saying hate any other race. No. But we got to start loving on ourselves, our own race, loving each other. Stop hating on each other. Stop fighting with each other. Get on one accord. We all have to move in the right direction. You feel me? Shalom, Lorraine, sister. So I'm going to end this live stream now. I just found it. When I seen it this morning, my spirit just, woo! I said, oh, my sister's got to hear this. The family's got to hear this. Some may agree with some of the things she says. All may not agree. But that's fine. We don't have to all agree on something, but we got to go in the right direction, is what I'm saying. Okay? Now, I love you guys. Oh, you know what I got to play? I got to play a song on the way out, because This song that Jazzy J does just makes me have hope. That's what it makes me. That's why I play it so much. You know, I don't do this for any monetary gain. It makes my spirit feel good to bring light of what I find, okay, to my family, to my family. That's what y'all are, my family. Here's our sister Jazzy J. We are on the front lines, queens and kings, but know this: we need each other. Okay. Shalom, family. I'm out after this.
I know times seem hard right now. Seems like it's you against the world. But I'm here to tell you, it looks like never give up.
DDI Jazzy J, hold your head. Some days it feels so hard, the love feels so far, and this world feels like it's gone its way. I still push on, cause all it takes is a spark. For a change it just takes a step. When things feel so hard, the love feels so far, and this world feels like it's gone its way. I still push on, cause all it takes is a spark. For a change it just takes a step. When things feel so hard,
you feel like you live in the shadow of injustice. When that ache in your heart is beating like a percussion, and they don't understand, cause they ain't living your life. That every morning that you wake up, you feel destined to fight. But you gotta be what you gotta be. Forget what they say, you gotta breathe. So blinded by society that they don't even acknowledge me. Stuck in the system with they knee on our necks. Bet you sign that NDA, they quick to cut you a check. But nothing is impossible, even with all of these obstacles. My DNA unstoppable, even though it don't seem logical. I press, so things won't stay the same. In the pursuit of happiness, man, we focused on the change.
Some days it feels so hard, the love feels so far, and this world feels like it's gone its way. I still push on, cause all it takes